just flattened this 8x3 Jasper, and I'm saving that mud because I want to show you what it's like to sharpen with it. Oh, there's a little bit of a hair in it. Let's see if I can manage to just get that out. So when you freshly lap one of these sharpening stones, it opens the pores of the surface, and keeping that slurry gives you a little extra glide, and it puts a little bit more particles up into your liquid. So as you're sliding your bevel along the stone, you're going to get more polishing along the back side of the edge as well. And this is a good old Mora carbon, so it's pretty easy to sharpen up. But this works on any steel, super steels, it doesn't matter. The cutting abrasives of this stone are really pure silicates, and as well as microscopic garnets that make a very, very, very hard abrasive. And high content crucible steel might give you more resistance, but this still will polish and sharpen it. I would just recommend diamond stones first for those kind of steels. So you don't need to keep the slurry. It's just handy because it's going to increase your polish and help sharpen just a little bit quicker. But it's the surface of the stone that's also doing the heavy lifting. It loads up with steel. So every sharpening stroke you make, you're basically slowly repolishing the surface of your stone. If you let it polish as fine as it can, then it's going to finish your edge as sharp as possible, but it's not going to remove as much steel. So I think the happy medium is just lap it with a worn out diamond plate, and it sharpens super fast and super fine. And then it sort of smooths in during your session. So by the time you're done reestablishing your bevel, the stone is automatically also giving you a very, very sharp finish. You don't really create a burr when you sharpen like this. If you don't have an edge, you can take your knife and put it like along the back corner. You could do that kind of a filing motion, and really quickly that'll take steel off. So you can use a corner if you need to file your stone. Sorry, if you need to file your steel, and that'll act just like a bastard file. And also, this side is lapped a lot coarser, so if you just listen to the difference, and you can see the metal if I tip it just right. So because my edge didn't have as much of a bite farther down and towards the belly, I'll go back to my coarse side here. And this really sharpens quick. And when it slows down after you've sharpened on it a bunch, you can just redress the surface with a rough grit. 100 grit or 200 grit is really nice. 220 feels great. 360. This diamond plate acts more like a worn out 600. So that's closer to the finer side of things. But when a diamond plate like this, the DMT 325 is fresh, then it's also gonna feel more of like a coarse surface prepping. And this is extremely aggressive for how hard of a stone you've got. So you don't have to worry about your stone dishing out. And after, you know, a couple sharpening sessions, just 10 or 20 seconds, resand your surface and you'll be good to go again. This one, even in a 1/2 inch thick, is gonna last multiple generations because you lose so little material when you just lightly repolish your surface or make it rough again. So this knife has a nice working edge reestablished now that I used the coarse side of this Jasper to reestablish a working bevel and take off a bunch of steel. Now I'm going to switch to my fine side next. And the way you can tell the difference in sides is that this side feels really smooth and it's a lot more quiet. So if you just listen to the difference in sound, this side has a much tighter grit preparation on the surface. It's more like mirror polish level. This side will work your edge up to around 30,000 grit ballpark. Whereas this side, you'll hear the difference. This is maybe more like 1,000. And you could make it even grittier than that. Just dress it with, you know, 100 grit or 200 grit, and it's gonna cut closer to that range. And eventually it varnishes in. This side I haven't had to redress because I want it to get smoother and smoother. Back to shaving sharp. And this edge has a bit of patina, but it's also very finely polished. I got out all the rust and pitting the last time I reworked this knife and the stones. So thanks for watching, and check out the Facebook group Wild Whetstones and naturalwhetstonesharpening.com if you guys want to see my Jasper stones. And I also just started a new line of jade Viking Whetstone pendants. So if you guys want to get a look at those on Etsy, you can look for the shop Arcane Carvings. Thanks for checking me out, guys. And if you have something you want to see in the next video, drop me a comment below and I'll get that fired up for you guys. Peace, power.